Hey people of YouTube, this is just a quick video to give an overview of my 1989 Belarus diesel tractor and a cold startup. It's about 45 degrees out here this morning. It was probably in the low 30s last night. But like I said, this is a 1989 Belarus. Belarus tractors were made in the former Soviet Union in the country of Belarus. According to what they say, that's the largest tractor factory in the world, but that might just be communist propaganda. I don't know. But if you're looking at one of these tractors for sale, or if you've ever had any questions about them, I'm going to try to answer a few of those questions. I'm going to tell you a couple of things I like about it, a couple of things I don't like about it. What I don't like about it, or what I've heard most people say about it, the metal quality varies. I haven't really had that problem with this tractor. Most of the metal I think is solid, but people do have trouble with strip bolts and things like that, but most of that can be fixed. I haven't really had that problem. This tractor actually seems to be really quality compared to what you find a lot of things that are made today, even in the United States, because a lot of that is still now imported from China. Other things that people don't like about these tractors, and they're probably right about this, the location of the controls is kind of odd. It can be a little bit uncomfortable to use for a long period of time. The ergonomics is awkward. The location of the hand controls, just the way the tractor sits. You kind of sit up high in the seat, so forth, things like that. The third thing that you'll hear about these tractors, and I have encountered this, is the availability of parts. It is getting better. Most all the parts are available. They're available on eBay, but they are still most of them imported, and they tend to be pretty expensive, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And it's not the bad problem that people make it out to be. But turning from the bad things to things that are bad about the tractor, there are some good things about this tractor. The thing that is most impressive to me about this tractor is its fuel efficiency. This thing will run all day on just a few ounces of fuel, and I don't think that I'm exaggerating. It is a diesel tractor. It has slightly larger than about a 5-gallon tank, and honestly, I don't use the tractor every day, but for the use that I do get out of it, maintaining our 18 acres here, I have to fill it up maybe just twice a year at most. So it's extremely fuel efficient. You can run it for several days and not even notice hardly any change at all in how much fuel is actually still in the tank. And it'll also run on just about any kind of fuel. Not gasoline, but it will run on number 1, number 2 kerosene, highway diesel, just about the poorest fuel quality you can imagine, and it runs just great. The other thing that I think is great about this tractor, these tractors were designed for farmers in the Eastern Bloc of the Soviet Union who were very isolated, very remote. That's the breadbasket of Europe over there. And the farmers tended to be very isolated. And these tractors were designed to not be in the shop. I mean, they were designed to be something that the average farmer who was an independent do-it-yourselfer with a very limited supply of tools could maintain, could repair himself out in the field with just the tools in this box, just what he had on hand. He could keep this tractor running, he could maintain it, he could make the repairs that were needed on his own without having to haul the tractor to a repair facility. Along those lines, I can show you a couple of things. Let's open up the hood here. Take a look.
I closed it.
Inside here you'll see the fuel tank is mounted here. This is the air filter, and the air filter is an oil bath filter, so it is field serviceable. There's no disposable filter in there. The fuel filters here, they are paper element. They can be replaced, but they'll last years and years. And if you had to run without one, you could, or you could improvise and probably make your own. Back of the dashboard, there's a fuse panel. But if you can look back there, the fuses are actually just pieces of wire point to point. There's extra wire. You've got a ton of extra wire. If you blow a fuse, you actually just burn the wire. So you could be out in the field and blow fuses, and you can get off the tractor. You can rewrap it, and you're done. If you run out of wire, find a piece of wire somewhere, put it back on, bridge the gap, get yourself going. I mean, there's no need to have to run to a repair shop. It's serviced out in the field, and you're back in business. Alright, so having said all that, I'm going to walk you through the startup procedure for this tractor. It's pretty simple, but if you've never seen one before, you might sit down on it and say, what in the world am I supposed to do to get this thing started? That's what I thought the first time I tried to start it up. Like this is a cold weather day. The first thing you do on a cold day, you don't have to do this, but it will start a lot easier. Down here is your hydraulic pump. It's got two positions, and it can be moved over like that and disengaged. That disengages all the hydraulics, makes it a lot easier to start, especially in cold weather. We'll take a on the tractor. I'll walk you through all the hand controls going from left to right. This is the ignition switch. We've got the clutch on the left. 2 gear levers. This is forward and reverse. This is each gear. This is a decompression lever. Again, this is a cold start feature. It makes the tractor easy to start in cold weather. You've got brakes. The brakes will operate independently, or you can attach this little gadget right here and run them together. Foot throttle here. Hydraulic controls right here. Emergency brake immediately to the right. This is the hand throttle, and on-off engage the PTO right here to the back right. So everything is right here. Like I said, it's just not comfortable. You have to reach for everything. There's nothing that rests easy in your hand when you're operating this tractor. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing started up. Alright, here we go with the cold start. It's about 40 degrees. This is the 1989 Belarus 2-cylinder diesel 250 AS model. We're going to press in the clutch, engage the ignition. We're going to set the fuel control up just slightly, just a little bit of fuel. It moved about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to make sure the emergency brake is in the upright and locked position. We're going to change the gear shift lever to neutral. That's tight. We're going to set the forward reverse lever also to the center position, so both levers are center. That's the full neutral position. We'll pull the decompression lever all the way out. If you notice right here, we've got a light. That means the ignition is on. The actual key switch start is right here in the steering column. We're going to use our handy dandy screwdriver, and we're just going to turn it to the right. The motor is going to crank several times. As it speeds up, I'm going to press in the decompression lever and restart compression. It may fire the first time, it may not. If it doesn't, we'll do it again. Here we go. No luck the first time, we'll try it again. I heard it crank a little bit that time. Cranking a little bit faster, it should go. Not quite. Give it a little bit more fuel. Let off the clutch and make sure it's still in neutral. Back the throttle off.